Oh, hi. Didn't see you there. Why don't you come on over? Let me tell you a story about the Gaga monster and how he arrived here at Camp Streefland. One day, they were having the Dakota County Circus here nearby Camp Streefland, and they were driving their circus truck past our beautiful Lake Kingsley. In their circus caravan, they had elephants, giraffes, zebras, bears, gorillas, and the last card of all, of course, the Gaga monster. Well, on their way into town, the gorillas were just having their lunch. What do gorillas have for lunch, you ask? Well, bananas, of course. They were having their bananas, and of course we all know gorillas are not very cleanly. So as they threw their banana peels here and there, one accidentally slipped out of its cage, and right underneath the truck tire of the circus caravan. Of course, as you would expect, the truck slipped and slid all over the place. Every which cart tipped over, and which animal went rolling right into Lake Kingsley, do you ask? The Gaga monster, of course. It was a very, very, very hot and humid Minnesota day. So of course, when the Gaga monster landed in the cold, cool, crisp, clean water of Lake Kingsley, he exclaimed, "Ah," and right away he began to splish and splash because he loved the cool of the water. All of a sudden, he looked across the lake, and what did he see? Something marvelous and spectacular that he had to go and check it out himself. So he swam over to the shores of Camp Streefland. Well, from there he wandered around. He looked to and fro to see all that Streefland had to offer, when he saw something amazing. The bungalow, our arts and crafts center. Once he got there, well, the Gaga monster didn't know quite what to do. He looked all over, up and down at all the amazing arts and crafts that we had in the bungalow, when he saw something sparkly and shining bright. Well, of course, the Gaga monster's diet consists of candy, cupcakes, and treats. So when he saw this sparkling marvel, he thought it was candy. He grabbed the jar and he gobbled it up. What was that marvelous, spectacular treat, you ask? Well, it was actually glitter of all different colors. Well, silly me, I forgot to tell you what the Gaga monster looks like. The Gaga monster is a 7-foot tall, poofy white creature with long, long fingernails and toenails and gnarling teeth. So, when he ate the glitter, it ended up sparkling his teeth. Then he thought, oh my goodness, that was such a tasty meal, but I'm very, very dirty from being in the lake in the dirt all day long. So he went over to what he thought was the can of soap. He poured the can of soap all over himself, but of course, what did the soap end up being? Tie-dye. So now our Gaga monster, instead of a 7-foot tall, white and poofy haired creature, was now a tie-dye marvel with shining and glittery teeth. He then thought he would clean off his fingernails because he had had so much mud underneath them. So he went over to what he thought might be the cleaning polish. It ended up being the face paint. So when he painted each finger from left to right, he painted purple, red, orange, green, yellow, pink, and every other marvelous color of the rainbow. Now our Gaga monster looked like a tie-dye, glitter mouth-filled, painted nails and toenails monster. After that, he had grown tired of the bungalow and decided to head further into camp. From there, it was such an early and beautiful morning that our camp director, Neil Merton, was opening here at camp. Justin and myself had wandered out into camp to get ready for the day when all of a sudden we saw the monster approaching. We both had a sheer look of panic on our face because we had no idea what this giant creature of rainbow was. So we sprinted up to the office to tell Neil, "Neil, rainbow monster, We exclaimed, of course, no idea what this monster could be. Neil, right away, decided that we needed a plan of action. Well, what do we think this monster is? Asked Neil. We had no idea, so we knew that we needed to protect all of the campers coming into camp from any type of monster that we could possibly have. We devised a plan to build a pen that could capture this creature. We did see that the creature had thought he was eating candy and sweets and treats. So we decided we should definitely lure him in with a chocolate cupcake. We used all of the materials that we had at our fingertips, so we decided to grab all of the life jackets from the pool. We clipped all of these life jackets together to create a giant netting device. We built our pen, we put the cupcake in the middle, and we stood nearby behind a tree to capture this Gaga monster. Well, the Gaga monster smelled the sweets, and he said what any Gaga monster would say, "I smell sweets." He ran over, jumped into the Gaga pit, and picked up the cupcake, and he said, chocolate cupcake. And he gobbled it down. As he gobbled it down, we took the netting of life jackets and we threw it onto the Gaga monster. Well, the Gaga monster gave out a roaring laugh. Ha ha ha! And he unclipped all the life jackets and he ran off into the woods. Neil said, "Oh no, the Gaga monster got away!" So, we devised our second plan. Knowing that the Gaga monster knew that that Gaga pit was a trap, we built a second Gaga monster pit over on a different hill. This time, we decided that we needed to lure him in with not just one chocolate cupcake, but 2 chocolate cupcakes. Since the life jacket netting did not work, we knew we needed a stronger material that was inescapable. So we went to our arts director and we asked what possible material this might be. And she said lanyard string would be the best option to capture such a beast. So we placed the cupcakes in, we lanyard stringed a new net of plastic lanyard string, and we hid in the bushes nearby awaiting the Gaga monster. Of course, off in the woods, he sniffed again. "I smell treats!" He crept over to the Gaga pit, leapt in, and he said, chocolate cupcakes! And he gobbled down the cupcakes. As he gobbled down the cupcakes, we threw the net and we said, "We've got you now, Gaga monster!" Threw the net over his head, but yet again, the Gaga monster just laughed. Ha ha ha! Took his sharp claws and he cut his way through the plastic lanyard strings. We had failed yet again. Neil said, "What will we ever do? In God's name of the Queen, we need to catch this monster to save our campers." So, we went back to the drawing board. Justin, myself, and Neil went back up to the office to draw up only the most clever of all plans. We built, yet again, a third Gaga pit, knowing that the Gaga monster knew that the first and the second Gaga pit were traps. This time, we knew we need something even more marvelous to draw the monster in. So we baked 5 chocolate cakes, placed them in the Gaga pit, and made a net of the strongest metal that humans could find. We gathered the net, we hid in the bushes, and we waited for the Gaga monster. We heard steps, we heard rustling, when suddenly the Gaga monster jumped out of the bushes and he said, "I smell chocolate!" and gobbled up the cakes. As he gobbled up the cakes, all 3 of us grabbed the netting together and we threw it as high as we could to land on top of the Gaga monster. But we suddenly discovered that in the beautiful sunshiny day, that Gaga monster saw a gleam of light shine into the Gaga pit off of the netting behind him. He quickly turned around and he caught the net of metal. He caught it, and as quick as you could blink, he threw it back at us. We were captured there on the ground. He stomped over, right over to Justin. Justin said, "Please, Gaga monster, we only meant to save our children." He looked at me and I said, "Please, Gaga monster, oh please, let us go. We will let you live and we will let you run away and scamper around camp like a happy camper." Neil said, "Oh no, we've been captured. What will I ever do?" When all of a sudden, the Gaga monster stood up as tall as he could be, reached down with his sharp claws, and tickled us. Neil said, "I know, stop all, it's so ticklish!" Justin exclaimed, and I said, "No, I'm gonna wet myself!" After that, the Gaga monster let out a huge, roaring laugh.
"I'm not a scary monster. I am happy, friendly monster."
And we didn't know what to say. He let us out of the net, and we laughed together. We said, "Sorry, Gaga monster. We thought you were a big, scary monster. We had no idea that you were a happy, pleasant monster that loves Camp Streefland." And he said, "I love your camp. It is the most exciting place I have ever been in my entire life. Do you mind if I stay?" And we said, "Why, yes, Gaga monster. You may live here. We just need you to make sure that we do not scare any children." So he made a deal with us. He right then and there vowed to be a nocturnal monster who only comes out at night to find the sweet treats that we leave for him around camp, and that he would leave all of the campers alone. However, he loves the laughter and smiles of children. So we made a deal. If he hears children laughing and playing while he is sweetly in his dreams, he may come and peer out of the bushes just to see what is going on in all the marvel and happiness here at Camp Streefland. So every once in a while, if you pack a sweet treat in your lunchbox, or if you giggle and have fun and laughter here at Camp Streefland, you might peer at the bushes and see a glittering smile, a rainbow of fur, or some beautiful polish of nails, smiling right back at you with all your laughter and fun. Thank you for coming to Pattycakes Story Time, and I hope you join me again.